I think we cannot counter or cannot jab back the Economist better than what our
Wow, that was... Oh my god. It's like punching a kid in the face, no?
And you're Mike Tyson.
That's right. Oh my god.
Jesse. Do you guys know what is the Economist or not?
Yeah, I follow them on IG.
Or you follow them?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's a British weekly newspaper they publish in printed magazine format and digitally. So the topics that they focus on are current affairs, international business, politics, technology and culture. Okay, so recently they posted an article about Singapore talking about the leadership transition that is going to happen. Okay, so the article although they may say some factual stuff, but you can, when you read it you guys can go back and read it there are some hint of like punching down and also some negative connotation to it. Like for example, the headline, they say Lawrence Wong will be only the 4th PM in Singapore history. So
what are they really suggesting though?
Yeah.
Like it's bad to have very few prime ministers or what?
You know, some people they talk about like, you know, the one party state, it's like more of like maybe a supreme leadership rather than really pure democracy. So some of the other things they mentioned, they say that Lawrence Wong was not the 4G first choice. They also describe the PAP, They say that PAP will win the election because of its unrelenting attacks on the opposition, among some other reasons which they praise, but like they do sneak in some like
Nasty remarks.
So what do you guys think about this?
Wake Up Singapore created the Economist or what? Wait, since when PAP has like unrelenting attack on opposition? Aren't they always taking like the defensive stance? And the thing is, what do they mean by it's not 4G's first choice? If not him, then who? In the 4G.
Previously was Heng Swee Keat
Yeah.
Then but because he's I think too old already, so his longevity is not there. So
Wait a minute, why? Who gives them that kind of audacity to say these kind of things? From what I can recall, there was this one lady, minister.
The shortest term.
Yeah, I saw it from the Economist, I think. It was like, I think few months only or something like that, Then they have to substitute to someone else.
We can, man.
Prime Minister, because of some issues or what lah. I mean,
Bad leadership.
yeah, who gave them that kind of audacity to say
our leadership?
Yeah, that's why when this is the case for them. Oh my god.
Do they normally cover Singapore affairs? Like Singapore news?
I think they now and then talk about every country. Every country that is notable lah. So Singapore is notable, I guess.
Thank
Alright,
you.
thank you very much.
But basket, you talk down.
So we have shared what we feel about what the economists have said lah. But somebody said it better lah. I'm gonna share with you guys. Shanmugam posted on Facebook many things, punching them back. He started off with this: the economists can't resist sneering at us. It's an instinct lodged deep in the unconscious of the British commentariat class. They can't stand that the people they are accustomed to lecturing are now doing better than they are.
Oh, damn.
Shanmugam said that.
This guy woke up and chose violence.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
So he talked about many things that how Singapore have progressed better than Britain or the UK. So firstly, he talked about the governance. He said that you wrote that DPM Wong will be the 4th PM of Singapore in 59 years. The UK, Rishi is their 4th PM in 4.9 years.
Wow. Yeah. That is a low blow, no. Really a hard kick to the crotch, no.
Yeah.
No joke.
He not scared to like throw this back.
I guess he finds that you offended me, let me put some facts straight to you.
Because I mean, although this is to the media company, but then indirectly
The country.
towards the country also, And
But I guess like the good thing about what he said, is that he's not speaking really emotionally, it's facts.
Yes.
And they cannot fight with that.
Yeah. So he say he added your former PM Boris Johnson accepted a holiday worth 15k and 50k for renovation for his residence from donors. Right, you say in Singapore you do that
Wow, corruption,
yeah,
insurance.
charge in court already. Yeah, correct.
Actually, you could have just stopped at your former PM Boris Johnson.
Tackle insurance now also. Wow, give them a blow while bringing Singapore up. Shanmugam.
Yeah, good. So he talk about the economy. Right? He say last time when we are still under your colony, right? Yeah, our GDP was $500.
Now it's what, 900
more than 80k.
No lah.
80k. Yes.
We are powerful.
UK?
Yeah, wait,
No lah,
he end off with that. Well ahead of the UK.
Now I know where UK.
Well ahead of the UK. So you talk about public safety, right? He said 95% of the adults, right, feel safe, right, walking around at night. In the public at night.
Yeah.
Right? Do you feel safe? As a
Definitely.
girl?
Very
Yes. I feel super safe.
You should lah, nobody will.
Yeah, at night, when I walking home, take out shirt lah, what ready okay. Like China.
So the other people don't feel safe.
So he compared that to the UK lah. Okay, he said that investigation into more than 330,000 vehicle crimes across England and Wales last year, right? 85% of them, right, all the case got closed without any suspect caught. Say in more than 100 neighborhoods, 0% of the reported car theft was solved. A situation like that, right, would be unthinkable and unacceptable in Singapore. Yeah.
Wow.
I love this guy.
And the thing is that he has all the stats.
Yeah.
Have to
Fun fact,
because if not, he will just put himself in a bad position.
No, the thing is he used the stats to shoot them back. That's the smart one.
That was brilliant.
Okay, so I think we cannot counter or cannot jab back the economies better than what our
Wow, that was... Oh my
Brutal.
god. It's like punching a kid in the face, no?
And you're Mike Tyson.
Oh my god.
Oh yo.
Okay, so let's dive deeper right into what the economists have mentioned in the article lah. Okay, so the economists suggest that younger Singaporeans, right, have a changing attitudes and expectations towards the government. So they mentioned that the younger generation, right, want the reserve of Singapore to be used for better welfare. And then they also started to praise Lawrence Wong, saying that he will bring about a new form of governance, a more collaborative approach to governance. So I ask you guys, do you think that this approach, right, is the best for Singapore?
One of the things we have discussed before is what exactly can these youths really contribute towards policy making? Because you might have your views on certain things, and a lot of times it is shaped by social media. You go and see what people in maybe liberal countries are talking about, and you want to adopt those same ideas for our context. Do you really understand how that benefits Singapore itself? You see, now they say all these kind of things, right? When you go against not just the prevailing team that is governing Singapore, but just the general stance of how most of the policies are, you are giving ammunition to other people. You might think like, oh, let's evoke change and stuff like that. But end of the day, right, people outside, they want to say anything bad about Singapore, they're using your mouth. It is the things that you say that they put into their publications and stuff, and then it paints the image that a lot of people are against the way the country is being run. So have you really considered, because it's not just about the policy that you want to enact, but how does this affect the way other people look at your country? You see, like
You want to talk about the death penalty, right?
death penalty is one of it.
Yeah, they have a skewed mindset of Singapore death penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we mentioned about this before, so when we are talking about the topic, is where more liberal and woke people, they are very vocalized compared to more conservative, which I feel Singapore mainly currently still consists of conservative.
Okay, for me personally, I feel that, right, Lawrence Wong, the new approach of governance, right, might be good for Singapore, for the next phase of Singapore. Before that, when we just came out from Malaysia, we needed a strong leader, somebody that rules Singapore with a iron will. Yeah, Lee Kuan Yew step up to the plate. He makes Singapore where we are today. The subsequent leaders that take over.
I think there's changes, a gradual change. If you realize, like at first it was Lee Kuan Yew, right? Wow, with Iron Fist. Then after it comes to Goh Chok Tong and Lee Hsien Loong, right? But it becomes like a more gentle. The approach was more gentle. But now you see the Lawrence Wong's approach, right? It's more like a fun, more like a, you know, like people kind of engagement. So I feel, right, you have to move with the time, and that is a smart move.
That's why I feel, currently right now, Lawrence Wong will make a good Prime Minister for Singapore. Yeah.
Okay, one thing to note, right? While yes, it is good to move with the times, we used to be in like a, you can say it's like a wartime period. So Lee Kuan Yew was handling this wartime period, this transition of wartime period, and now we are in peacetime lah. So the governance during wartime and peacetime obviously is different. But the problem is in peacetime, sometimes when you don't handle things right, you lead us to wartime.
Because you create weak people.
Yeah. So that is one thing we need to look out for. And I believe all these guys who have been in, you know, high office for the longest time, they will foresee this one. When they bring in this collaborative approach, they bring the youths in, listen to you in a forum and stuff. At the end of the day, they know that I'm trying to turn you around. Because if I believe that you are right, I would have already placed this in the policy.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that, and I believe that you may not have the full picture, which is why I'm having this forum for you to learn. But they, at the end of the day, right, they also know that if I listen to you too much, whatever is happening in other parts of the world that is feeding you with all these ideas, we are going to end up like them. Which means we are going to end up in a wartime scenario. Just like how they need to change Prime Minister 4 times in 5 years or something, that can possibly happen to us. Why? Because these kind of policies will lead to bad governance. So these are things that they will for sure look out for. So.
And this was what I wanted to bring up also, because we discussed this when we were talking about Vivian Balakrishnan, when he was addressing the issue of creating like forums and safe spaces for like youths to discuss and all, right? I feel this is their, you know, one of their processes or adaptive changes to, you know, make it a more collaborative governance and whatnot. But at the end of the day, yes, they hang out more with youth, they engage more with youth, but they are not stupid also. If they take the approach where, yes, I will talk to you, but you tell me what you are thinking about. And if I shut you down, or like, you know, how forums are, right? And you learn, at the end of the day, we are being more collaborative and you become less
Noisy.
Yeah, I think it's a win-win situation if they continue this approach.
So you believe that Lawrence Wong will be a good Prime Minister for Singapore lah?
I feel so also.
That one I have no doubt.
Okay. So as you know, when Lee Hsien Loong passed the torch to Lawrence Wong, right, there will be a reshuffling the cabinet as well. Right. So the 4G leaders, right, will now take on key appointments in the
Actually, they are already holding key appointments. Possibly reshuffle, possibly.
Reshuffling. Do you think the 4G leaders, right, are ready?
I think they are more than ready lah. And the reason I believe that is because you look in the last maybe 12, 13 years roughly, the people who are taking current office, they were already groomed back then. They were just entering politics now. But even as they just step into politics, they're given good appointments, and today they are holding key minister roles. Some of the 3G guys and good ones like Indrani and all, they are not holding these positions. Why? Because the 4G guys are more than capable enough. Of course, they are more than capable enough also. But these guys can handle.
I think it's like, you know, Steve Jobs.
Yeah.
You know, like when he first created like even anything, right, something small, right, he started like in 90s, early 90s, 90 something, right?
Is it? I thought earlier, but okay.
Around there, like 1990 something. It's only when like maybe 2010 around there or a bit earlier that he was more known. It's after the Harvard, the talk, right?
No lah, he was super well known in 2007. Because it was the launch of the iPhone.
So I'm trying to say, right, it's like a lot of people, because it's new to them, but that doesn't mean that you can discredit their previous, you know, like abundance of experience and that kind of thought, that kind of brain to rule or to even like manage anything.
And you want to talk about experience, it's not easy to rule or hold this type of key appointments and bring Singapore through pandemic. No, it's a challenge.
The navigation was just perfect stewardship.
People were looking at us and say that this is how you should handle the pandemic.
Benchmark, no. You take away the migrant worker part lah. Benchmark, no, of handling the pandemic.
UK, got like nothing. I never really hear. And now they want to talk about 4G. Ong Ye Kung is 4G. He was the Minister of Health during the pandemic. That is, I feel like, okay, the weight of that department or that pillar in Singapore was so skewed to him, and he handled it so well. So I feel, if you ask me, 4G leaders, are they ready to take over? I would even go to the point where I say they have proven themselves.